What's up, guys? This is me Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Frank Sanchez versus Julian Fernandez, which will be a 10-rounder for the NABO Heavyweight Championship. And this will be Saturday, December 19th from the Alamodome in San Antonio, Texas. And this will be broadcasted on DAZN in the United States and Sky Sports abroad. And I believe this fight will be the co-main event on the Canelo Alvarez versus Callum Smith main card. And the reason for that is because Frank Sanchez recently hooked up with Eddie Reynoso in the beginning of 2020 and now has been training with Canelo all the time, sparring with him and working with him in the gym. And I believe there has been a viral video of Frank Sanchez sparring with Canelo Alvarez. They do put in some good work. Sanchez really practicing the distance with Canelo because he is training for a 6'3", very tall and lengthy super middleweight in Callum Smith. And Sanchez is very good sparring for that, being that he is 6'4" and around maybe a similar frame, even though Sanchez is much bigger than Callum Smith, but it is very good sparring for Canelo. But getting into his resume, Frank Sanchez is coming off a knockout win in the 4th round against Brian Howard just about a month ago on November 7th. I made a video on that fight as well. Same with his fight against Joey DeWayco in March, but I'll get into that one a little bit later. In that Brian Howard fight, he dropped Howard in the 3rd round once and then twice in the 4th, ultimately getting a stoppage win in very impressive fashion. And in that Joey DeWayco fight, it was his first fight with the Reynoso camp, training with Canelo. He did pitch a shutout on the scorecards, in my opinion, agreeing with 2 of the judges. And that fight was also for his NABO world title, and I believe he's currently ranked number 7 in the WBO, and he is ranked number 32 by BoxRec, I forgot to mention. In my opinion, he's amongst the top 3 best heavyweight prospects. It would have to be, I guess you could say, Joe Joyce, Frank Sanchez, and Filip Hrgović. In my opinion, those are the top 3 guys. But about a year ago, in August of 2019, he got a knockout win against Victor Bisbal, who is a former Olympian, and he made easy work of Bisbal getting a 4th round corner stoppage win. He really battered Bisbal in that fight, and that was I believe it was his PBC debut, and he was winning every round, and he looked very good. But in that DeWayco fight, it really opened up to why Frank Sanchez was one of the top Cuban amateurs. He had a record of 214-7, and he showed his footwork, he showed his speed, and he showed his power, and he looked very good that night. But getting into his opponent, Julian Fernandez, fighting out of Mexico, has a record of 14 wins, 2 defeats, with 11 by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 186 by BoxRec, so that's the difference there. Sanchez being ranked number 32, Fernandez being ranked number 186. Fernandez's 2 defeats are to Arslanbek Makhmudov in his last fight in the 3rd round. He did lose there. And his other loss is by KO to Tom Schwartz in the 2nd round. And that was at the time when Tom Schwartz was 21-0. His only good win is against Misael Sanchez, who I believe was 11-4 at the time. But every other win or every other fight in his resume was in his home country of Mexico. In my opinion, it's just going to play out like Fernandez's other fights, where he fights a sort of highly touted prospect like Makhmudov and at the time Tom Schwartz, and then he just gets knocked out early in the fight. I'm predicting a 3rd round knockout for Frank Sanchez, and so will a bunch of the other people who are predicting this fight, and I know the odds are in favor of Sanchez by a heavy margin by knockout. So my final prediction is that Frank Sanchez improves to 17-0 and will likely get a title shot sooner than later, and he will get a knockout win in the 3rd round. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.